In this day, in this life, living a dream, crying for the moment, suddenly seem great.
Just like your mother, you know what I mean? You go to the gym every day and you work out every day.
Legacy living,
Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah.
You work out every day.
All right. Welcome to Boss Code TV.
Sir.
Welcome to the Code Path to Greatness podcast. We are sitting here with JRG The Prodigy. What's up, man?
What up? How you guys doing?
How you feeling, man?
Good, man. Good. I'm feeling good.
Good, man. How was the trip here?
It was a good trip. It was a nice drive. We got to listen to some music.
Nice.
Heads.
Listen to some beats?
Yes, sir. I was actually listening to beats for this feature coming up.
That's what's up, man. So tell us, let's just start and let's talk about you a little bit. Tell us who you are.
Well, shit. I'm JRG The Prodigy, James Garton from Canton, Ohio. Born and raised. Went to Canton McKinley for high school.
McKinley,
Middle
okay.
School. Yeah, Sowers Middle School from the Southwest. You know?
Man.
But shit, yeah. Now I just stay low key. I'm married now.
Congrats.
Me and her just got a house, bought a house.
Congrats.
Just working on this music now, man.
How long you been married?
This label going. 2.5 years now.
Okay.
Yep.
Congrats.
This will be the third year coming up.
Cool, man.
Yes, sir.
Now, as you know, this I told you this episode is called The Turning Point. So not only are we going to interview you and talk about you, we're going to talk about the turning point in life, not necessarily like when you decide that you want to be something, but when you truly start giving up things to walk into that. 'Cause that's a big difference.
Yeah, that is a big thing, man. And, you know, that just actually happened recently for me. You know, like, we really started, me and Lang, Germ. We started all this shit, you know, back in like, can I cuss?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right, yeah. So we started all this back in like 2012. You know, we were recording music. He would make beats. I would just rap to him, you know, freestyle. We would record here and there. And it never was that serious, you know, but over the past couple of years is when we really started taking it more serious. You know, I just dropped my first song 2020 to really try selling music and doing it for real, you know.
Yeah.
But it was
you said 2020 you got like serious about it?
Yeah, bro. I just started getting serious. Like,
yeah, that's cool.
It, you know, mastering the craft and doing everything. And it was kind of just like a hobby at first. It's something cool to do, fun to do. I love rapping. I love rap music.
Yeah.
And then it just, you know, getting the reactions from people and, you know, people liking it and everyone telling me like, hey, you know. Yeah. And we really started to build a sound. So we realized that and decided to structure that and start going for it, you know. And now we're here. So not even 2 years later, you know.
So
absolutely.
What was your, like, because you said you were rapping from 2012 and then you released like around 2020. When was your first release?
Okay, my first real release for sale was 2020, but you know, we man, you know, I just always I was always big on perfecting everything, and you know, I knew even in the time, even though I knew I could rap, whatever, but I just knew it wasn't ready. Yeah. I knew I didn't want to be that guy that was just like dropping SoundCloud tracks that just are bad and bad quality and just, you know, I didn't want that to even be the first look at me when they hear me.
First
you know,
impression.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's big. So,
yeah,
you know, we just kept going until we started getting the sound better. Yeah. And then, and I mean, we would record on like a little computer mic. Yeah. And just listen back, you know.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
That's top shelf. That's top shelf.
Yeah, it sounded trash, you know. But, and then we started getting better equipment. And, you know, getting the advice from other people, meeting people, networking, realizing like it was getting better. Right. And so, I think 2019, I think we did a little mixtape that I dropped just on YouTube. And it was just like remixes of songs. Okay. You know, so no original beats, so I couldn't sell it.
A true mixtape.
Right, a true mixtape. So like I dropped that. And that was my very first release actually, but you know, that was I think 2019. But 2020, you know, I got distribution and I started really selling it and dropped my first song, Hard Headed, in 2020. Yeah.
So you were all in-house, like you do the vocals,
everything.
Do the beats.
We do everything. You know,
here does the beats.
Yeah, either like I just started making the beats recently, but either he originally started making the beats, Lang, Jeremy, you know. Yeah. And it was just me and him for a while, and then it started getting to be where like I was ready to go and we needed more people. He couldn't keep up because he was doing everything. Graphic designing, it's a lot. Making my album covers, the beats. So
it's a full-time job. Yeah. And it never stops. Right. Yeah, right. I get it.
So I got Kevin, or Stats, you know, I got him on around the same time, right when I was about to drop, about 2018, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Nice.
then he started producing beats as well. So.
That's what's up. I think one of the things I appreciate the most about you is before we started recording, you were talking about how you want to get better and areas you want to get better. I mean, you don't have to explain those areas, but just the fact that you're coachable, because a lot of people, they get in the mic, oh, I'm dope, right? They get people saying they're dope, and all of a sudden you can't tell them nothing.
Right.
I like that. Just being coachable, because that's what's missing in a lot of people's endeavors.
And that's the thing, I was always told, and I really stick to this, is like, listen first and talk second. You know what I mean? Like, you can always learn something, and you're always a student to the game no matter what. I don't care how old you are, what you've been through, what you've done, what you accomplished, no matter what, you're a student to the game, because somebody's got some kind of knowledge you might not have, or anything, just be open-minded to things. That's one thing that I was always crammed in my head and that I make sure I stick with, you know what I'm saying? Because knowledge is
that's a good
quality. It's good.
Key,
yeah.
It's a big quality.
So we're talking about the turning point, and this is a good segue into your intro on your last album.
Okay.
That intro is dope. Yeah. I feel like I like artists where I can hear a lot of me, and like I can hear a lot of me in your lyrics. What I mean by that, just you're writing from an essence, you're writing from a place of truth, you're writing from a place of passion.
Right.
And that's what I mean by, and that's why I think that's what even attracted me to start reaching out to you. Like, man, this dude is dope, because it's not about, to me, bars or how dope you are. It's the whole package. Like, are you moving with momentum, a force?
Right.
Some people don't have a force. They just got bars. Yeah. So tell us about that intro, man. You had some dope lines in there, like, what'd you say? Something about wisdom. Something about, what'd you say about wisdom and grief?
Shit, man. Which one was it? The Prodigy?
The intro, yeah.
Was in the verse?
Yeah.
92, Prodigy was born, Oakland Hospital, parents thinking about divorce. Yeah, what was the wisdom?
It's okay. We'll get back to it, but in general, just explain like where you were mentally when you wrote that track, because I feel like it came from a really core place.
Yeah, so I feel like, man, I really just wanted to, like, especially for the intro, because I wanted people to get to know me, who I am.
Yeah.
Maybe just why I am the way I am. Because I've been told a lot too. Like, I don't really fuck with a lot of people. I'm distant. It's just how I am. I move kind of by myself.
I understand that. Yeah.
People would say stuff. Bring it up, telling me I need to be doing this in the music. I need to be.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of just like me explaining, like, why I am the way I am. Like, before you guys judge my actions and my moves and the things I do, learn about me first, and see where I'm coming from.
Right.
Before you judge me before you know me.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of opening to get and I really feel people will listen to you more and trust you more when they know more about you. If you're mysterious, they don't. I don't trust you if I don't know shit about you. So it's like I just felt like it would get them closer to and make them, open up and be ready to listen to the rest of the stuff that I got.
It sucked me in when I heard it. I'm like, okay, like that's the type of angle I like to write from too. Like I don't go into the studio and figure out like, okay, well, what's the new sound or what's this?
Yeah, I don't do that either, man.
Yeah,
try to find my own. You know what I mean? Try to follow, and that's too many people do that, man.
Let me ask you, like, when you write, I mean, what's the process for you? I mean, what are you doing? What are you thinking about?
So, man, my mind's all over the place. I am a scatterbrain, like, I all over the place. So it's like, I usually try to set because if I let that go, I'll just sit and write. And I'll just write aimlessly. I'll have a bunch, which I've done. I have songs, so many songs I have that I'll probably never release because of that. But, so I just, first things first is I need that topic. I got to think of whatever, especially if it's something going on in my life, like, I'm not the type to open up to people really, so like this is my way to do it.
You're a song introvert, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a big introvert, man. I'm trying to
get
out of that now, though.
Yeah.
That's why I made that song, was like.
Yeah, because that came to mind when you just said that.
Yeah, so like, so I'm a big introvert, but with the music you can't be that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, people would actually be surprised how many like big successful artists are introverts. I mean, Kendrick Lamar, he's one of the biggest introverts in the game. Like if you go to his Instagram, he don't post nothing.
Nope.
He don't post nothing. He's not on social media, and he's openly talked about his depression and his seclusion and stuff like that. So that's not always a bad thing,
Right. It definitely made me who I am, you know what I mean? And it helps me write this music because that's just kind of like, but back, to like the writing process is like, it's mainly like I'll try to have something set in mind. I don't like to just do that aimless no more. I'll have either a project or an emotion that's just on my mind. I'll take that and turn it either into a song or a project or,
Yeah.
But normally I just listen to beats. Kevin will make a bunch of beats. I'll make a bunch of beats and I'll just sit and listen. Yeah. And honestly, whichever one I feel at the time, I just will sit and I'll listen to the beat and I'll freestyle out loud.
Gotcha.
And I won't even say shit. I'll just be like saying random words and just to find my cadence and find. Yeah. And then I'll start writing. I'll take that flow.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny because the more I get into writing and music, it's hard for me to find a beat. Yeah. It's like it has to speak to me almost. Me like too. It's either not gonna happen all night. I go through beats or I hear that beat. It's like okay, and it's just it's giving me the words almost. Right. You know what I mean? Let's talk about the turning point. The turning point to me, once again, like I said, it's not about the decision to I want to be an artist, or I want to do this for my life, or I want to be a sound engineer or a photographer. Like it's about when you truly start making decisions that shape your life to give you a clear path to do those things. And I feel like I can see in what you got going on that you're making decisions for that clear path. Like, where was that turning point to you? You spoke a little bit about it in 2020, but when do you think you started making like life decisions based on what you want to be, like who you talk to, where you go, and things of that nature?
So, shit, man. Honestly, I met my wife in 2013, and then I was with her for quite a while, about 5 years. I think it was just like, especially when you get a girl, that really shows who a lot of,
Yeah.
And so like just everything was going on at that time. Like I had a lot of shit going on in my life. So like I'd say probably like about 2018, I'd say it was, I really just realized like I didn't want to work a 9 to 5 no more. I don't want to do this no more. I want the good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love music and I didn't want it to go to waste, because it's like, of course I love to make a buck or, make a living off of it. But really it's just like today the game is so saturated with poison in people's raps,
Man,
and it's just like,
there's
no more of that like positivity or knowledge being fed. All these guys got platforms.
Talk to me,
speaking to millions of people and they're just talking,
and they're poisoning them. So it's like for their own profit.
Yeah, so it's like, especially hearing all this modern rap, that was driving me real hard to like make a change. I'm like, man, I know I can out rap a lot of these dudes.
Yeah.
How are you getting this big of a
And it don't even matter no more though.
It don't.
That's the crazy thing. It's like you'll see these cats who can't even rap and they'll be on Instagram holding guns and colored hair and all this stuff and they'll get a following just doing stupid stuff. Yeah.
But like, so I'd say, really hearing that new wave of rap did it to me, and like I just realized like I was getting really good at it and I loved it so much. It was like, man, so I just, I say about 2018, I really started to mold my whole life around it, like getting my boys involved, I'm like, and taking it really serious, getting the label going, buying equipment. I mean, saving our money and only spending our money on the shit that's going to benefit us and make us money.
Yeah.
So it's really, bro, to be honest, it's crazy, but like, it's only probably been 3-4 years, John?
Yeah.
Like that we even really started to, like, as you say, put my full life into it and make life changes to, and now my wife's my manager.
Yeah, that's what's
she's
up.
My booking manager. She takes care of all that. So, that was a big thing. Not spending a lot of time with her because I was so focused on the music.
Yeah.
At that time when I really started to, like you said.
You caught that fire.
Base my life around it and really start to change my life to just mold that, I started to neglect things, but now I'm finding that good, happy medium where I'm like, okay, my wife's involved, so she ain't being left out.
Right.
I got my boys with me, and it's really starting to just get moving.
I was telling you
now,
that, man. I was saying that one of my dudes, he came up to me and said, you got to know how to rest. You got to know how to balance. Yeah. Because it's a nonstop thing. If you're an artist, if you're trying to be an artist, you could be writing lyrics for 6 hours and you're neglecting everything. You don't even realize you're neglecting it.
Man,
a lot of people say they're selfish. Oh, an artist is selfish. He's not selfish.
You get caught up in what you're doing.
Himself,
yeah,
you know?
That's why when I get home each day, like I don't even tap into nothing yet. I you know, hang with the kids, hang my wife till she goes to sleep, and then that's why I stay up till 3 or 4 every night, like because that's my time to get everything done. I make sure I get their time, and then I'm working on this and that and do a little writing, and then I want to clear my mind a little bit, so I put something on the TV. You know what I mean? So it's like you start finding your routine. You know?
Yeah, I'm at a point now. I feel like, you know, I really, like you said, that balance and find time to rest. Man, that spoke to me. Like I really need to find time to rest because you know, I find myself like if I'm not doing anything, like you know, like you said, just relax on the couch.
Yeah,
I can't relax on the couch without feeling guilt. And it's crazy because like I'm feeling guilty, like man, I'm just wasting time, you know, and that gets to me because I do the same shit. You know, I'll be up late nights. Man, late.
Well, that's the thing. I was just talking to you about this. I mean, like just through what I've been through, but perfectionism and wanting to be the best at something and want to be great at something. Sometimes you can't turn it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard to turn it off, but it's like, man, it's like you're missing out on all these opportunities by just sitting on the couch. But you really ain't.
That's why, you know, that's why I feel like, because the only opportunities I felt like I was missing out on, you know what I mean, is like when I'm doing my music, you know, like I said, my wife, I was missing out on that. Maybe friends, you know. So that's why if you can just find that, you know, that answer, like, okay, like I did, you know, I brought my boys with me. They learned how to do this. Got my wife with me, you know. So it's just like you said, you just got to find that balance, man. But don't give up on whatever that passion is, you know what I mean? Don't mistake that rest for taking a huge break. And then you don't want to get behind, you know, so you don't want to. I don't think you should take like a huge break when you do rest, but, you know, just try to involve people or something. Or involve your things that
like rest isn't laziness. That's what I think about when you're talking.
You know what I mean? I get like that too. I'll be feeling like guilty. Like I
think a lot of artists do.
Y'all know what though, man? There's been like 2 times in my life where I took like a year off just because I have a habit of doing too much. I would get burnt out. You know, trying to be an artist and a magazine and this and then I finally got it to the point now where it's like you know, I know what to do, what not to do. But so there was a line ever since I was young, Nas said, and I always lived by that. He said, you should chill if you're short, prepare deep thought, and hit the streets again. So I always lived by that. If your money's short, if your moves is short, if whatever, you just be still for a little bit. Figure out a plan. Because we get into a habit thinking like, oh man, if I'm not moving. But sometimes not moving is where you find yourself. Like I took 2 years off from Boss Code magazine. 2 years off. The Instagram was just like stagnant, you know. And then when me and my wife started getting closer to marriage and stuff like that, I started slowly getting back into things. But I took a year off from recording. I've never done that in my life. But I'm just now getting back into things the last 2 years now. But that time off helped me because it gave me vision of, okay, I don't need to incorporate this. Cause I was having like Boss Code models and this and that. I'm like, okay, I need to get rid of some weight that's not feeding me back. So, you know, just start formulating things that really serve you, which is that turning point. You start finding out what truly serves you and what you want to and how you can serve. You know what I mean? Like, I feel good doing stuff like this because I like to give, and it feels good to me to celebrate. Like I was telling him before you even got here.
I would never met him if you weren't doing that.
You know what I mean? And like I told him before he got here, like I said, he needs celebrated. Like there's people who need celebrated for getting up every day and
doing that.
And getting I appreciate it.
Because people think it's easy and it's not. Easy. They only see the end result. They only see you at the show. They only see this, but they don't know what goes into it.
Especially independent, man. When you're independent like that and doing everything, people really don't realize like how much work actually gets put into it. You know, it is fun, but it is a lot of work. And it's just like, I mean, you definitely need those breaks. And when you do start to run yourself, you know, rampant, you ain't gonna be able to think straight for your next
exactly
a good move. You know, you're gonna be
you see these stars going crazy sometimes. I mean, remember the story about Eve? She's in a hotel room having suicidal thoughts and all this stuff. Cause you gotta chill for a minute.
Start getting on drugs.
You gotta slow down, man. I always say the faster you go, it limits your view of things. You know what I mean? Like there's moments you want to move fast, but you got to see the board.
Exactly. Yeah. People do. They want it ASAP. Yeah. Don't take the time to sit back and really. And that's kind of why I feel like, you know, I say I've been doing this for like 10 years, or it's actually been like about 10, 11 years, but like really for real only 3 years maybe.
Right. I'm going hard,
and that's because you do that. You know, you want to perfect and really sit and analyze everything and think of the moves you want to make. Yeah. You know, make sure any artist that's you know coming up, make sure you always think the moves you're gonna make ahead of time. Don't like you said, don't rush. You got plenty of time. Yeah. Because you know, you can make 100 little moves, you know, and get here, and I can make 1 or 2 big moves and we're at the same spot. So it's just like you gotta,
exactly. There was an artist there was an artist that hit me up on Instagram the other day. You know, I didn't really know him. He had a blue check and all this. Apparently he's I don't know.
You get the check mark?
Yeah, he's somebody who did songs with this person, that person. I didn't know him. But people will try to play you sometimes, you know. He hit me up in my inbox and was like, hey, I got this opportunity only for today. I'm doing a song with Young Money, and I got a slot open, Like, I didn't even ask the price. Yeah. I told him, like, I'm not intrigued by, I don't make fast decisions. I'm more intrigued by plans and calculated details. Like, and then he was like, oh, it's usually $1,200, it's $150 today. Okay. I've been around long enough to know you ain't flying me out to do a song for Young Money for $150. The ticket costs more than that. How you flying me out doing something?
That's a good topic though. I'm glad you brought that up because like it is crazy, you know how I told you like I'm not on the internet much. Yeah. I just feel like everything nowadays is like internet. I mean, unless you know, I see you're genuine with your music and you actually got genuine fans and you move the right way. But it's like
took a long time to, you know what I mean?
It's so hard to actually get going because everything's botted. You know, everything's bots, and it's like it's like if I'm trying to get a show or I'm hitting these venues or I'm hitting these artists for just to network and work, which I do a lot of. It's like, you know, they always want your socials. It's like they go straight to your socials. It's like if you don't got the followers or if you don't got the likes, I'm not even about to mess with you. I can come rock your stage and it might be the best show you ever had if you take the opportunity. But
people don't care about the music.
And I understand the music is a popularity game. As much as we don't want it to be,
that's all it is.
It really is.
It's about followers.
If you want to get up there, you got to do that. But it's just like, it's hard, man, because
it's the business.
People buying followers and doing this. Everyone's getting these opportunities and shows, and they're not even really grinding. So it's just really tough on the internet.
That's funny, man, because that brought up something that we worked with an artist, and it was for Sony. And they wanted her to have 500,000 I think it was one video she posted, 500,000 views on that video. She had 20,000. Okay, so she's dumping money. And I don't think she ever reached that goal. So it was like, okay, so what are you saying? But then they start talking about genuine views and genuine hits and how many fans she's got. So it's interesting because I've seen that side of it with the record label. And it's interesting because like a successful independent artist can do the same thing, make the same impact, just like you said. And you're using your platform the way you want to use your platform. And it's interesting because I've seen it go both ways. You know, I've seen somebody put all that time into that and it just doesn't pan out at all. So
and the funny thing about it, like the industries have been synthetic for years. They've been doing all this stuff for years. Like when SoundScan was popular, Billboard charts, they buy the albums. Like so. Back in the day, Capone told me this. We were talking on the phone. Like I already knew people bought albums back, but he got real specific with it. He said, like people would be platinum in a week because, let's say when Camelot Records was around, Camelot would buy 1 million copies. So if the label can manage to sell 1 million copies to these stores, they've already platinum in 3 days. But in reality, they're not certified platinum until they truly sell those records. But they can call it platinum because 1 million records went out.
And it's crazy. As soon as someone hears that, platinum, they instantly just they're for it. You know what I'm saying? It's not even genuine. They didn't work hard for it. So
it's all really smoke and mirrors, man.
Really tough. Yeah, it's really tough.
And the tough thing about Instagram and online now is like the algorithm. I hate that stuff. Like straight up, they are pimps. Like Facebook is one of the biggest pimps out there. They were calculated too. They're smart. They made their whole stuff free, right? Oh, build your followers on this page. Build your followers on this page. You get like years ago, I used to get mad likes on my business pages. Now people can't see it unless you pay for it. Pay for it. They're pimps. They sucked you in.
Facebook runs Instagram.
Yeah,
that's how Instagram is.
Yeah. Oh man, I hate that they bought Instagram. I used to.
Instagram's I feel like that's hard now, like real hard. Instagram.
It is. They make it impossible. Like I used to get a lot of stuff done on Instagram, like sell a lot of ad space and connect with people and do features. And I was like, you got to go truly looking for people to connect with people on there. You know,
it's tough, man. I always said I'd have been better coming up in like the 90s, 2000s.
Me too. Yeah,
I'd have made it better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when they actually look for talent and like, can you rap? You know, not just what does it sound like. I mean, you might as well just sell beats.
Right.
Like, that's like what they're doing now. So
yeah.
Whatever the beat is, as long as that's dope. Yeah. And you can make something sound okay on it.
Exactly. You know, they did artist development back then too.
I think you got a good head on all of this. Something came to mind to me, man, and I don't know. I'm just gonna say it, but it's like a pastor came up to me one time and he hit me because I was struggling. I was frustrated. Me personally, I'm talking about. But he says, "You're as efficient now as you will be then." You know what I mean? So it's like, quit living then, live now.
Yeah.
And that stuff will blow up. I mean, wherever it's gonna go, it's gonna go. Yeah, you know what I mean? I just don't know why. I was just thinking about that.
Yeah,
and I was like,
true.
Because you seem like you're like a super hardworking musician. I mean, you guys are putting it out. I mean, producing, creating, writing, producing.
Yes.
And that's always been my belief. It's gonna go where it needs to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just me.
It's almost like you don't even have to worry about that part because when you start worrying about that part, it ruins the creative process, man. It's I've learned the last few years to focus on the intention. Yeah. Like, what do I want to do with this song? Yeah. I want to give somebody this feeling. I want to give somebody this. And if my intention is pure, then those who catch the message is going to catch the message. Yeah. Right. You know what I mean? Like, you can see 50 people in the crowd. I don't need all those. I don't need 1 million fans.
No. The ones who matter,
Yeah, give me 50,000 fans that spend $20 a year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me 20,000 fans that'll spend $50 a year.
Right.
I mean, you can make a living off of 20,000 fans. You don't need red carpet and
and that's the society we live in now. That's what YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all of them have created. Yeah. So that's cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like going back to what you said real quick is like live for now, not then is like that's funny you say that because like I preach that. You know, I preach it to my wife because my wife can get. My wife can get a little overwhelmed with things a lot, and and especially it's like on things you can't control too. Like you get so upset and overwhelmed of the past or things that have happened that you either can't control or can't change. Yeah, and it's just funny you say because I really based my life around that. Like
cool.
Don't dwell on nothing in the past. Don't get upset about something you can't change or that happened that you. Because it's just going to cloud your mind for what your next move needs to be.
Man,
right now.
Or the future.
It's so true.
I mean, to add to that, the future too. Don't put anxiety in the future.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was just thinking that. I don't even know why I said it. I was just thinking about it. I was like, man, because it made sense to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, and what I do. Yeah. You know, I can't control that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. You just live a life of stress. You do that.
Yeah. And then it blocks, like, I truly, wholeheartedly believe in the power of faith. I feel like the universe, God's universe is created to the point where, like, you might have seen me post the other day that unwavering faith is the cheat code. It really is. Like, and there's people who don't even believe in God who tapped into that cheat code because it's written into the universe that if you believe you can achieve something, it has to give it back to you. Yeah. So what clouds that giving is the doubt, the stress, because they can't live in the same vessel, in the same thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not the biggest religious person, but I believe in that heavy. You know? What I mean? Like, I mean, religion is faith, pretty much. You know, so and definitely, if you just set your mind to it and have faith, especially like not in the process, but in yourself. You know, because people doubt themselves. Like insecurities are huge nowadays, especially like. When you get on Instagram and things and just how the world is, period, it's set up for people to just be so insecure. And it's because you're looking at everybody compares nowadays, especially when you can just get a glimpse in everyone's life, you know what I mean, that they're posting and you're, damn, I
want my life to look a little good today.
Yeah, man. So it's just a big, a lot of people there's a lot of depressed people, a lot of people with insecurities and because they're just trying to match.
The next,
and it's right there in your face everywhere,
just enjoy your life. Yep. And I tell you something even deeper. This is just my thought. Like, I'm going to go back to what I said. Like, people who don't even believe in God are tapping into faith. And it's true that the leaders who run the world, they're tapping into a belief system that I can make anything happen. And they know that's true, which is why they keep, I'm going getting deep with this, but that's why they keep the masses dumbed down, because they don't want you to believe in yourself, because they know once you grab hold of that, you can be powerful too. I'm telling you, like, it is deep. Like, it's regardless if you walk with God or not, God coded into the universe faith. And faith has to give back when it's when you have it. Yeah, when you manifest it. And there's people using that for bad every single day. They're manifesting based off of what's already given to us in the universe. So,
and one thing I really always like I always like this comparison is like, and if people could get the grasp of this, they could really make huge changes in their life personally, you know, financially too, but personally, you know, because that's most important. If you ain't there, you ain't gonna make no moves that are, you know. But so it's just like, and people don't realize, but your brain is just like your muscle. You know what I mean? If you go to the gym every day and you work out every day.
You said that in one of your songs.
I like it.
Yeah.
Like
I'm listening.
So,
yeah.
But, you know, you work out every day, you're going to grow. You're going to get bigger. You know what I mean? You're stronger.
Absolutely.
And literally, your brain really does work the same way. And it's just, you're just not physically lifting, you know? If you wake up every day, and I've done this, man, because I used to be in some dark places.
Right.
And I'm as happy as I've ever been right now. You know what I mean? It's like, I did that, man. You know, with all the shit I've been through, just, you know, you wake up every single day, and if you really tell yourself, and I don't mean just like, I really mean tell yourself, like, even if you got to say it out loud, the goals you want to hit and the things you want to change about yourself, if you really tell yourself that every day, it really will happen, and it will become second nature, and you don't even got to try no more. It will be you. And you can do that with everything. If you can just really set your mind to that and remember to do that every day, you will make shit happen.
There's a lot of, like I said, evil people, the people who pitching out poison like you talked about, they are doing that every day. The problem in society is we look at money and say, oh, that person's blessed. Oh, that person's this. No, that person just believes they could get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, me personally, I believe in God, and I do my thing in that area. But I know somebody can still be successful in this world without believing in God, because it's all about the will to go make something happen. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, that's
when you were talking about this, like, the first thing, because when I was listening to your songs on Spotify, it's like this instant, this dude's been somewhere. That's what I felt.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this dude's like bringing, because I think like the greatest artists I know, they have this sort of insecurity, and they can manifest that into music. And it's just like, whoa, dude. It's like, I instantly catch it, because as an engineer, people think I'm just turning knobs. No, I got to catch that. Because if I don't catch that, then I just didn't do my job. And that's the first thing. Right when I turned it on, I was like, okay, he's got a story. He's been somewhere. You know what I mean? And that I'm showing respect to you, because that's you can't. I don't care how good you are as an artist or a rapper or you have a story, and it's always gonna manifest on the microphone. So
man. I mean, that is one thing. Definitely is like, you know, not only did I manifest, the music, you know, being able to do the music makes me happier, obviously, because I get to vent in a way. But like, you know, like manifesting the negativities in my life and the insecurities I had, which
and
definitely
awesome.
were heavy, man. Manifesting that into happiness, you know, you can do that.
You're good at it. That's what I'm saying.
Learn from the things that have happened to you. Insecurities is a lesson for real. You feel that way for a reason. You know? You could channel that and find that and get rid of that, you know what I mean? Be happy.
To be honest, like, everything I do comes from past insecurities. Like, running from those insecurities. Like, that's how I started music. Like, I found something I was good at. I wasn't good at school. You know, growing up, I wasn't good at school. I wasn't good at sports. You know what I mean? I could play. I could go play some basketball, but I wasn't like a star player or anything like that.
You was good at sports, man.
You know, I was a kid at the lunchroom writing rhymes. For real. For real. Like,
I did some sports.
But by the time I got to high school, I didn't want to do nothing else but write rhymes. So it was like nothing existed. But like, in general, just like coming through things in life, like failures, through certain dynamics growing up, it was like, I finally found something I can do. And I want to do this hard. I want to be the best. Like, you know, and I feel like that with everything now. Like, it's less of a ego thing now. Like, hip hop is a very egotistical sport. I'll call it a sport because that's how I feel it is. Like, and but I've learned I don't care about being better than you, being better than anybody. Like, I just want to take what I'm doing and find success, which is why I say greatness is a decision. It's not about being the best.
Right.
It's about being the best version of you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at now, and I'm glad I could lose that ego side, because it used to be bad. Like, I used to have my chest out, like, you know what I mean? Who would have battled? You know what I mean? Like,
look, I will say something though. You know, I feel that way though, but not like, but I don't let it, you know what I mean, get in front of me to be disrespectful. You know, I'm still respectful, and I still am very humble. I'm not cocky at all. Yeah. But I do kind of like, part of me, you know, in my lane at least, you know, like the things I'm working on at the time, like I do feel that way a little bit. It's like, I'm gonna try to be at least one of the best. I know
there's nothing wrong with
so many guys that are gonna be just as good or better than you, you know. But but that definitely drive me to, like, especially if I would hear a local rapper. And my first thought was, okay, I gotta get better. I gotta be better than that. I gotta be better than that. That's my competition. There's people listen. If it's me or him, I gotta be, you know. So, but I agree. Don't let it get in the way.
And I still feel like that. Every time I get in the booth, I'm like, okay, I gotta bring something.
Definitely.
It's just like, it's not my driving force. Like when I'm creating, I want to create something that's the best, or that's best. But it's not like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Rah, I want to be better than you. Like almost battling and beefing. that type of action. You know what I mean?
It's like friendly now.
Yeah.
That's when you lose sight though, and then you do start rapping some whack shit.
Yeah.
You're so confident, you don't even process what you're doing no more. Because I'm the type, man, I'll write something and I'll analyze that shit. I'll listen and pick it apart. Go back and record this. I didn't like that. Like, I just really, I'm a perfectionist. Sometimes gets in the way. But.
Right. So I used to be heavy into it. Like, I used to love when I was at a party. This is a little younger. I was at a party and I finally seen like a local rapper I heard about. I started cypher right then and there. Straight up. Every time, like I see somebody walking, I'm like, okay, let's start a cypher. Let's see if we can keep up. I'm pulling.
He's like, dude.
I'm not so much like that. Nobody likes to freestyle no more.
Nah,
Speaking of freestyle, one thing I seen from a couple months ago to start making me more intrigued. I seen both of y'all. It was your whole clique, I guess.
Yep.
On TikTok. And I was like, okay, this cat got some stuff, man. You know what I mean?
Cypher,
yeah. You was on there, killing it.
Killed that shit.
That was dope, man. I'd like to see. I feel like, first of all, explain foreign language to me.
All right, so really, you know, Jern, because me and him started it, he's always went by Lang, short for language.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He always called himself Lang or Language Arts.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I always thought that was cool, and he had a dope name, and you know, as I started writing and like getting better at it and better, I always realized like my bars or my, you know, metaphors are always, or just the way I rap, period, is like really unorthodox. It's different. I try to be that way.
You're lyrical too.
So I think a lot of people, if they listen, they're not even gonna understand half the shit I'm saying. To be honest, if they're not, I feel like hip hop heads will appreciate it. And honestly, we always joked about that. Like, man, they're not about to know what the hell I'm saying. Like, it's gonna go over their head. But if they got the bar, it'd be. But so then, like, taking the Lang. We were trying to come up with a label name. We had the label together, the group, and I was thinking of Language Arts, you know, and then I came up with foreign language because I was like, you know, the people not understanding my bars, they don't get it, they don't understand.
That's dope. That's ill. I like
4L though. The four, there is four of us. You know. Eventually, hopefully, it'll grow and that won't work. But right now, it's four. In foreign language. But
I think it's dope. I think y'all look like you're having fun.
Definitely, man.
Yeah,
definitely
I like that.
Trying to make some stuff happen. We're working on a project right now. Actually, speaking of foreign language. I'll say the name. Okay, but we're about to drop. It's a mixtape we're about to drop, and it's called For La Familia. You know, and it's just like the foreign language family, right?
That's dope.
And it's gonna have me. We'll have features from Lang on it. Fredo's of course gonna be on it.
Yeah.
Me and Fredo got a lot of stuff on there. Shout out to Fredo, matter of fact. That's my boy, man. He really helped me out with the live shit too. You know, he got me my first show, man. He got me my first show. Got me on stage, man. It was funny. I met him. You know, he hit me. He DM'd me one day. And just told me he was a fan of my music, you know. And I've had a lot of people hit me, but like when I listen to his music, you know, hearing somebody that was actually dope and, you know, hearing that, you know, compliment and just how much he fucked with me, you know, and and that he was a dope artist too, you know. And I didn't really mess with nobody locally, you know. I didn't want to do collabs. I didn't want to do none of that, you know.
I feel you.
But then me and him linked up. And it's just like, it's crazy, man. We've only been boys for like a year, maybe a year and a half.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And I feel like family with him. You know, it was definitely one of the best people I ever met, you know what I mean, to help this out too. But yeah, it was funny, man, because I was always nervous to get on stage. Like, I love rapping, and I was never nervous to put my rap out there. But like, I was always had that stage fright, man. And he had a little show the one time, and like right when I first met him, pretty much. And we had one song together that we dropped. Hip Hop Is Not Dead. I don't know if you heard that one, but that's on his album.
No, I'll go check it out, though.
That's the Fredo LP. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the Fredo LP. But and he got me my first show, man, and it was just bliss up there when it was crazy. I was so nervous, but as soon as I got up there, everybody was fucking with me, you know. And it was one of the best feelings, man. And then that also, I had to say, really sparked like the heavy movement we've been doing lately too. So you know, getting that feeling, getting that out the way, being scared to get on stage, and that was like the biggest thing for me because I knew that was coming. Yeah, I knew that, you know, I'm dropping this music, I'm gonna have to. So like that really helped us start elevating and moving on with what we needed to do. So.
That's what's up. Speaking of shows, one of my favorite tracks on your latest album is that My Show song. Yeah. Hey, that chorus is cast. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's dope.
Really, my show.
Yeah, it's dope. I like the delivery you took on that. And that's what I love. Like, I'm always a fan. I'm a fan first. Like, if I hear something, I like the way somebody delivers something. I like the way they did that. Some people, just because I'm an artist, I can't like somebody else's stuff. Or, man, please.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
That's how I learn the best. That's how I come up is listening to artists, getting inspired by other artists. You know what I mean? I'll never be like a hater like that either. You got to do that.
Yeah,
you know
yeah. I mean?
Plus, what else is out there? But
right. Tell us how you got the gig for the Bone Thugs and Harmony show in Detroit.
Yeah,
that was nice.
Man, we just really hustle. Yeah. You know, I like giving out game. You know what I mean? But like, it's just like. So really, okay. We got the Dax show. I don't know if you've seen. I performed open for Dax.
Okay.
If you know who Dax is, right?
Yeah.
So open for him, and then kind of building the resume. Really, I guess. It was just like we've been hustling, man. We just hit people up. We've been networking. Yeah. You know, we reach out, and my wife's been doing a great job at that as my manager, man. And it's just like, you know, getting my music to people, and it's kind of crazy how it happened because. You know, a lot of venues will get the openers, like, and you know, the headliner might not even know who they are. You know, it's whatever. They just do what they do. You know, but this one, I think Bones' whole tour actually they have to pick like who they want. You know,
that's what's up. And which is even better.
Yeah, bro, it was crazy.
That's real.
We were hitting people up. Man, it was fuck. I almost missed the opportunity though. Something crazy, real quick story is like. Kevin was my manager for a minute. And it was just because I didn't have the time to just always, I mean, I do, but I didn't want to spend the time doing that. I want to spend the time doing things that I need to do to benefit me on my side. But so I had him doing it, and he didn't have his notifications on his email. Oh. And they finally responded, like the entertainment manager of Soundboard, Motor City, and was hitting him up, and he wasn't responding. Oh. And they actually found my Instagram. Found my wife's found my wife's email off my Instagram and contacted her. Yeah. And then she obviously seen it.
That's dope.
And I was like, cause she wrote
man, they could have moved on.
Yeah, bro, she was like, exactly. And she was like, you don't want to miss this opportunity. She was like, you know, out of all the submissions we had, Bone picked him. Like
that's what's up.
That's great.
That's what's
up. And I was the only opener, so it was just like, man, I couldn't even believe it.
You the only opener?
Only opener.
Man, that's
so
dope.
They picked one opener. And
man, congrats on that, man.
Yeah. So it was really just like hustling, man. That's the number one thing, man. Networking really is important. Man.
Oh, yeah.
And just putting that hustle in behind the scenes that people don't realize. You know, you can rap, drop a track, rap. You can keep doing that, but it's not going to, you're just going to have a bunch of music.
It ain't going to do nothing.
You got to move. You got to put that work in and find these opportunities. It's not like 90s and early 2000s where you just rapped, put it out, and hopefully someone found you. Nowadays, you got to go get it. Like, you got to get your shit to these record labels.
Yeah, get in their inboxes. Hey, what's up?
So that's what I do. So, you know, I just hustle, man. I'm hitting people, the right people, finding people and just contacting the right people. And this one hit, this one hit. So
that's good, man.
And
it's really dope.
And you never know who's willing to work with you. Like some people, they think, oh, this person is going to want to do this. Have a conversation with them. Man. I mean, there's been some some artists in the game that we've had in the magazine that I didn't expect them to. Well, I did expect them to say yes. I guess that's why they say yes. Is that faith we was talking about, right? You know what I'm saying? Just hit them up like, hey, what's up? Yep. You know, and just start building relationships with them and checking back in with them. And that's the huge thing on networking. People don't understand. Yeah. Like we talked about this a lot lately. Yeah. Some people think networking is all about what I can get from somebody. Nah, what can you get? What can you give? What can you do? What can you pick up the phone and just check on people like, hey, what's up? Like, follow up. Hey, how you been? Last time I talked to you, you were doing this. How'd that pan out?
And that's the thing. Interaction is important. You know what I mean? Like that personal interaction, because like, you know, people like to feel that too. They like to feel like important. You know what I mean? Especially because they're looking at you, even though they don't realize I'm just like you. I work a 9 to 5. But when they see me, you know, in the spotlight or on a stage or behind a track on Apple, you know, they think I'm, and it's just, it's dope though to see, you know, how appreciative they are, and then and how genuinely happy they are whenever you respond to them and you talk to them for a second. Like, treat them like humans. You know what I mean? And that will really get you what you need. You know, that's the fan support you need. Like you said, them 2 people that'll buy every single album or every single song, no matter what, is more important than just, you know, 100 people liking your shit, but no one's really buying. You know, so.
Man, we just talked about that. Man, look, you know how many times I could do a show back in the day. Hey, if I do a show in here, who's gonna come? 150 people like it. You get to the show, there's 48 people there. You know what I mean? Like, I've had packed shows. I've had shows where it's like, here we go. Me too. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's cool. What do you think as far as like what's the most important part to you about the living in that turning point?
Just, you mean basing my life around it?
Yeah. And I ask the question to everybody. Yeah, like when you decide like this is what I want for my life, what's the most important aspect to make that turn? And we can all, you know, give our opinions on this.
Man, you know, shit. The most important thing in my
as far as like the most important aspect or thing that's helped you the most during the turning point to say, okay, to focus and yeah.
Okay, so I mean,
or lesson you've learned during your turn. You know what I mean?
Right, man. Shit, there's a lot though. I mean, one thing is just like one of the most important. This is what I'll say. The most important thing to me is like, you know, making sure you're with it and you're good. You know, because like. Man, because, like, you know, I got my wife with me, like I was telling you, and all my boys and shit, but it's just like, if you ain't good, you can't make them good. So it's you know, just making sure that I was happy, you know, and like, and it's not selfish, you know, you got to make sure you're happy before anybody else can be happy around you, you know, or you make anyone else happy.
Facts.
So just, you know, honestly, the most important thing was finding my happiness, because, you know, even though the depression or the insecurities might have drove my music and helped me write, but it was like, I didn't know what to do though until I became level-headed and found that real happiness in myself and finding who I was as a person for real. You know what I mean? And not just instead of just, you know, making music for people. You know, just making the music however they might want it, or just really finding myself and making sure that I put who I really am in my music. And that really is the most important thing to me. You know, and I hate. Hate's a big word. I don't hate nothing. I don't like, you know, just making the music for what they want. You know, like that's how everybody moves nowadays. And not even being them. It's a big gimmick, you know, like so.
And sometimes that can mess.
My uncle always says it. He says it's hard to not be yourself. It's hard to not be yourself.
It's really tough.
Once you lose yourself,
it's tough to be fake. It's a hard work to be fake.
It's a really.
And then sometimes as an artist you get conflicted. Like I want to do this, but like. People gonna like it. People gonna this. And at some point, you just say, "Hey, this is what I'm."
Well, that's what's cool, because now I'm like getting to talk to you, and I can tell this is you. You know what I mean? And, and that's a good thing. And I think that was the same kind of struggle I had when I first got into it, man. Working on bigger record labels or bigger projects, and I'm like, man, I got to come to the table, and I got to do this, and I got to be better, and I got to do this, and I'm like, man, what am I worried about? Like I'm here for a purpose. I'm just gonna make it happen.
In your opinion, what you know, what do you think based off the question you asked me?
For me, man, the toughest thing is just the transitional period because that's when you get tried and tested. You know, like the new shirt we guys says tried and tested. Like that's not just some cool shirt I want to make up. Like that's for the people that truly are tried and tested, because like you get tried and tested from all angles. Like there's people I had to let go of that I love, like people that I've known for years and I'm down with, that I've laughed with, cried with, fought with, all this stuff, and you start to realize like they no longer fit, or even like we talked about last episode, like turning down certain opportunities because they're not going to benefit what the plan is, and sometimes you have to go without certain communication, certain things, certain pleasures, like to let go of those pleasures. That's huge too, and that's how a lot of people fail, because some people want to, oh, it's Saturday night, let's go with the gang, let's pop some bottles and let's do all this, but like no, like if they don't even have the same goals as you,
bro,
and you're the one sitting there wasting time,
and then you ain't happy.
So is that transition of loneliness, of fear. It's sometimes your pockets are affected because you're no longer doing this, you know, and you're not taking that job because it's gonna cost you more time, and you know what I mean.
And that all trickles right back to making sure you're straight. You know. If you ain't straight, man, you can't make the right moves.
Exactly.
But, you know, your answer actually made me think about that, and it is funny you say that, because like it really does suck, man. Because you know, I don't want to say nothing, do nothing like that, but like you know, I had some specific people that were real close to me coming up. You know what I mean? Like I mean, closest. You know, like every day. And to have to make that decision, because I've had to do that, and it was one of the hardest things. And I'm actually still close with the person now. Like we got back to it, but it was like, man, to have to actually, come and realize, okay, that's one of my best friends, you know what I mean? But I gotta cut it off because it's gonna fuck up my moves,
your
you know?
future,
And I didn't want to seem selfish, but it was like that person was being selfish, because that person wasn't, you know, I don't feel I was in the wrong. I felt bad, but it was like, it was the right decision though. So I wasn't wrong. It was the right decision, like you said. I had to cut him off, and it worked better for me. You know, I was happier and just like, and it sucks, man, when you do got to do that.
If you can't grow up together, then I got to grow up by myself. I got to go.
That's such a hard decision, man.
It's tough, man. It's
for anybody, like that. Do what makes you happiest. Like no matter what. You got to do what's best for you. Like,
and it creates a happy future.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean?
And that ain't selfish. That's just
It's not right, but people will view it as that.
Oh, you'll get slandered.
Exactly. But no matter what, even, you know, and that's another thing I really believe is I'm open-minded, and I will listen and take in everything you say. But I'm going to analyze it first before I take it.
Before I take it for myself.
Because it's like, I just feel like, you know, everybody thinks they got the answer. It's just like, if you just sit back, do what you have to do, and learn, be open-minded, you'll find that answer. You know what I mean? You don't gotta.
That's good.
So, in my opinion, the reason why a lot of people don't make it and are successful in life, because humans are naturally run back to their comforts. I mean, y'all familiar with Maslow's law?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that first tier thing is that those human comforts. They want the feeling, the this, the that, and when you detach from those, you're breaking, you know, the law of being human almost. And it's like walking into greatness can be tough because you have to become something different than the average person. You have to have thicker skin. You have to have a new outlook on life. You have to look at things differently. Like we said, there's people I miss like I used to rap with a lot of people, man. I used to set tours together, all this stuff. I don't nobody no more. It's me, my wife, and kids. You know what I mean? And I have people like Doug, or I have people that I'm still connected with who, you know, we just help each other in business tips and things like that. But it's not like a crew anymore. Right. You know what I mean? Because it's like that bit me too many times. You know.
And that's really important, especially if you're independent and you're wanting to run like an independent label, man. I preach this to, you know, everybody, like the team, all the time. I preach this too, is like, you know, we got to play our role and learn how to, like, you know, learn that we all want the same thing, but like if we don't play our specific part, we're not going to get there, you know. So like,
can't operate.
I was worried about that, you know, when Fredo joined on to our group, you know, because it was like when you got two people that want the same exact thing like that, 9 times out of 10, if you're not level-headed enough and you know strong enough in the head, that's gonna clash eventually. You're gonna be jealousy, envy, and if you guys can't, you know what I mean, be level-headed enough to get past that, it's not gonna work. The label's gonna fall apart. You're gonna fall apart. So it's really important that, especially the people around you, everyone's on the same page. And
and that's tough in hip hop because, once again, it's an egotistical sport. Everybody wants to be the man. Like, before you join up together, you're sitting in the room by yourself writing out how I'm going to be the man. So all of a sudden you're in a room with several people and everybody want to be the man. Like, man, I used to be with so many people like, look, man, I got something that's going to work. I just, if we can all get on board, I don't need y'all to be what I'm doing, but you see what I'm doing is working. And what you're doing has not took off. So let's just like,
and we was talking about this. It just came to mind that everybody should be appreciated. The producer, the artist, you know, the engineers. I mean, anybody adding to this is an equal field. But like in your case, you're the face. You know what I mean? But there's still an equal field. And that's that competition to build each other up. This healthy. You know, and it's a weird thing, man. I was just thinking about that.
Sure.
Definitely.
If we criticize, it's only helping.
For sure,
But criticism, not saying anything's just as bad.
Man, there's certain people I'll ask stuff to because I know they're gonna tell me the truth. Like my dude, Radion Akeem, he runs the United Boxing Gym, but he was a rapper for a long time and did a lot of stuff. I can play him something right now, and he'll be like, "Nah, that ain't you." You know what I mean? So when he hits me back and he's like, man, what you doing over there? I'm like, okay, that's a good response because he's going to be honest with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need that.
And definitely, but take that, and like we talked about earlier, though, you know, don't let that make your decision right away either. Because someone criticized you, you know, and that's just their opinion, though. You know?
And I got some dope songs that people I knew hated.
I'll say maybe, you know, there might be a little bit, you know, factual with it, but it's opinionated, you know, because he could love that style of music, or he, you know, what I think is bad, this person might think is dope, and will buy it. So it's just like, you is most important. Definitely,
I was just thinking that.
Most important.
If it's you,
that's the
wherever
best,
it goes,
most rewarding. You know, and that's actually where originality is where longevity comes into play too. You know, that's where I feel I struggle right now. This is something, you know, I want to bring up too. Is like, I feel like I am so original. Like the beats too. It's like, nowadays, if you don't drop something that's familiar, like when they hear it, it's a familiar sound, they're going to skip it. And it's like, that's where I'm trying to find, like, you know, how do I get that first listen? Because if I can get that first listen and turn you to a fan, you know, then I'll be able to get you hooked on this originality. So it's like, that's what's tough for me is I feel I'm very original. Like I feel like I sound like nobody.
So you're saying you almost want to jump out of the box for a minute to get them in the box.
Exactly, man. I got some moves coming, you know, and I'm gonna do that, but still be me. You know what I'm saying? But like,
and that's tough.
I feel like that's
talking about.
That's a tip. I feel like that's a good, you know, because, you know, especially when you're an underground rapper, like that's kind of how I label myself. I'm not mainstream, you know.
No doubt.
And it's like to get that hook, though, you know, you almost need to do something that is familiar. And then once they become fans, now you feed them, because if they're a fan, they're going to give you that biased opinion right away and give you the opportunity and listen to your whole song. So then you give them your original. So that's where I'm kind of trying to find right now.
I think where it is visuals. It's one thing if somebody's hearing something, they can easily turn it off. If you give them a wild visual, they'll tune in even if it haven't caught up to their ears yet, and they'll be like, "Whoa, okay, what's going on here?" And I feel like that's just my advice. It's just to focus on visuals. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. I actually shout out Banksy. I actually met somebody. We're gonna be doing that here soon. Actually, we got some shit in the works.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And it's funny because I just kind of came to that realization myself. Too, is that I might have even said exactly what you just said. Like. I swear to God I did. Where you say, you know, it's easy to skip something you're listening to, but if you give something to entertain visually, eye candy, you know, they're going to hear it, you know, because they're going to sit and watch it, but, you know.
I mean, in general, people aren't listeners anymore. They're viewers. I mean, we're all programmed to sit in our phone and scroll. So when something catches your eye, like, for example, when I see y'all on TikTok, I seen the video, and then I heard the audio. First, I'm like, okay, what they doing? Then the audio kicked in and it caught me. So it's like, Yeah, man. It's just how humans are trained now. You know,
Exactly.
They're no longer listeners. Like you can tell somebody something, and they don't even retain it no more sometimes.
It's true.
For real, it's crazy.
That's what they made to.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like 1 minute, boom, done.
Yeah. How many phone numbers do you remember? How many places do you remember how to get there?
Yep.
You know what I mean? If I'm halfway home, my GPS go out. What I'm gonna do? You know what I'm saying?
It's nice having all these, conveniences.
Yeah.
It really messes you up. People don't even realize it because it's just normal life to them, But like,
right.
It is crazy, man. Everything's just right at your fingertips. So
yeah.
It is really hard in the music game now, especially being underground.
Yeah.
Not following the wave or trend.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard not to. You get enticed, and I've been doing this for a long time. So there's been times I try a little. I did that one song, "Party to the Sunrise." I never really put it out. I tried to do that. I was like,
the other way,
and try to do it my way. It was cool. Some people liked it and stuff, but it didn't feel like me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I feel like the last few years I found a new approach. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I was telling you earlier, the type of beats I like now that like. Mm-hmm. I feel like bring me that depth,
Yep. That's important too.
Yeah. Production is
really important,
One of my favorite rappers, Nas, he was known for having not the best beat production when he was a newer artist. Other than working with Primo for his first album. Like Nostradamus for the flop because of beat production. Now this cat is almost 50 years old. Put out 3 albums in the last year and a half, one rap album of the year because he's working with Hit Boy, yeah, and they're dropping crazy music, man. He's like he found his pocket.
Yeah.
So man, you got time and you got the discipline. You got to find your sound. He told me what my sound was years ago. Yeah. He told me you need to find beats that have the tempo of Jay-Z Hard Knock Life. Not the sound, but the tempo. You told me that years ago. So pocket, I'm like, that is my pocket. So now I find like that that pace for a beat. You know what I mean? Because I'm not too much of a lyrical. Well, I don't know. I've been the metaphor guy. I've been a lyrical guy. You know what I mean? Like I've been
literally what I
he just came in and just knocked it out. I'm like, all right,
it's
over, man. You're raw, dude.
We got to drop something together, man.
We'll definitely have to make something happen.
Yeah, I got 2 albums I'm working on right now. I have to get you
I'm
on
ready
the
to
track.
start networking, with the right people. And
Yeah.
For a while, I wasn't on it, but I learned.
Yeah,
and it needs to happen.
I get it though, because I don't really collab much either, and I probably should more, but.
And it's nothing against none of the rappers.
Yeah,
I think it's just more like I want to be able to say I did it, kind of, myself.
Being
able to say like you did it because of that. Because of that feature, or So it's just like, but it's really nice though working with Fredo. I'm glad I opened up and I'm ready to start networking.
It's tough. It's tough to be creative with somebody else.
It's nice to do it for the love of the music. Like I've never looked at a collab like, oh, this is gonna help me. Like, no, let's.
Yeah. Right.
Like I miss being in a room full of people. We just dropping. You know what I mean? That's how it was when we were young, and now it's like everybody's got their thing. But
business moves, I guess. Coming up with it's just it depends on what you want out of it.
Yeah.
I definitely think, especially I was always like in the thought process of like, or in the mind state of like, like you just said, I don't want to do a feature unless it really like helps me. It does something for me.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing to be. You should do that a little bit, but
there could be time for that.
But I'm learning now though, and it's like network. What I mean? Network and because like as much as I would want someone to fuck with me, I want to be able to do the same thing back. It's like I can't be selfish with it. I got to realize like give what you get.
I'm also an energy person too. Like I always got to make sure. Like, you're on the same tip I'm on. Like, the dude that hit me the other day, I don't really care about doing a song with Young Money. That's just me being honest. Like, nothing against them, but that's not really my style. So, like, and not only that, even if it was my style, I got to hear the song first. I can't just say, okay, let me pay for this slot. I don't even know what you're talking about. You could be talking about some crazy stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, anyone like that, their motives are.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've been there. Money, I've been there, done that. And I'm not going to lie, I've been taken by, like, well-known people in the industry. Like, just because they have faces, they're snakes, too. Like, there's people who make money off of your dreams. You know what I mean?
But before I forget that topic, while we're on that, though, I wanted to bring that up too, like the Instagram thing and the getting DMs and getting emails and shit. It's crazy because like you don't know what to trust now. So it's like half the time I don't know if I'm missing an opportunity or if I'm about to get scammed. And it's kind of messed up because it's like it makes it so hard for people to get their music out there. You know, it's like, how do I find an A&R, or how do I find a promoter that's gonna help me out, or how do I find anybody that's gonna help me out? And it's like, you got people hitting you up. Some might be genuine in your DM, but there's so many people that are just trying to make a buck or scam, and it's like, how do you really even get your music out there, or, you know, get onto this platform, you know, like World Star Hip Hop, or how do you get on this without being scammed? It's just, it's really tough, man. It's hard to trust anyone nowadays.
And then the quality too, like some platforms you can get your stuff on there, but like they be on there just talking crazy and clowning every video. Is it even really worth? Like I know somebody who got their stuff on World Star once, and it really didn't pan out for them because people was on there just
knocking them,
just making up stuff to talk about. That ain't fun. Just give my money back.
Yeah, so it's really tough to find that answer of, like, you know, nowadays what really is gonna get you to people's ears. You know what I mean? So that's the toughest battle to me. I think that's the toughest battle to me. Because like I know that you know, not everybody, but I know that a lot of people, if I can just give me that one chance and listen to that one song, and, you know, it might change you.
Well, I think you just nailed it while you said you stay focused on just being you. Because, like, when you said that, man, that's, like, really what it's all about.
It really is.
It's like, look, if I'm me, you know, everything else can split. This could be this could be that, but you're you. And that's a big deal. You know what I mean? And I always think about that when I work with artists. Like when somebody comes into the recording studio or whatever it is, man, and I'm trying to feel that, who they are, it's like, that's you. You got your own lane. You got your own thing. You got your own, and man, you keep that the main thing. I think that's the good battle. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
That's the right battle.
No doubt.
And it brings longevity. And that will actually, you know, everybody's always looking for, and when I'm saying everybody, I mean like important people, A&Rs, people that can actually put you on and help you. It's like, they're always looking for a new wave, you know, that, like, you know, that's why I'm so dead set on being me and being original, is because that's where the longevity comes. That's where, you know, I could ride a wave, and right now, because I've rapped in so many lanes, I've done so many things, the lyrical, you know, the storytelling, the metaphors, I can do, you know, I've done all that, and it's like, I mean, my main lane is the storytelling. I want some a concept.
Yeah, you got some good storytelling lyrics,
man. And it's just like, you know, you could do something that's familiar, and it will hit quick. It probably will hit quick, you know, but it's not gonna last long. And then and then now what, you know? So doing this route and being you and being original is definitely the key to any artist that, you know, wants the longevity in the game, you know.
It's
I want that quick buck, cool, but
you're bringing me up something, because I worked with an A&R guy, and he was an intern, and this just came to mind when you were talking about that. And he was an intern for Def Jam, and he talked to me, and I learned a lot. And I learned a lot from this guy. And he's like, why are you making this kind of music when that's going to be done, and it's just going to change next month?
Exactly.
So you're already behind. And he's like, you just got to be you. So he's saying, like, what you're saying is actually the right thing to do. But it's like you chase the other stuff, and it's already past you. You know what I mean? And that's one thing he told me, and I was like, man, that's crazy. He's like, it's going to change next month. It's going to change next month. And it's like, you're like right before that next month. Okay, well, this is it. And like at the right time, it'll hit, you know? And that's the way I feel about it. So,
two things I want to say to bounce off that. 50 Cent did an interview once. He said, dude gave him a tape. He said, dude was dope. He sounds just like Lil Wayne. He said, how can I say he's whack? He sounds just like Lil Wayne. He said, but he sounds just like Lil Wayne.
There's already,
you know,
that's the criticism.
And his advice to artists was just like to stay you, and eventually what you're doing is going to pop. Secondly, I want to say, I interviewed this dude, Frederick Douglass. Frederick Williams. He's a horror author. In our interview, he said the thing about whatever you're doing, people have to catch up to what you're doing. So oftentimes you may start something and you're only hitting the people that are already in that lane, but those people create more people. You know what I mean? And they do. And I used to think, like, doing music when I was young, I used to think I have to have a song for everybody. I got a song for... So if you hear an artist say, I got a song for everybody in this album, like, oh, you did something wrong, man. Yeah, exactly. Like, like, you know, you find your lane, and then that lane entices other people to spill over into the lane who didn't mess with you in the beginning. Now you become a sound, you know what I mean? Like,
that's definitely most important. That's my goal, man. And especially how saturated the game is nowadays. Like, I mean...
Yeah.
It's so hard, dude. I won't even get into that because I'll start ranting.
Oh, I get it, yeah.
Just so saturated, man. So it's like the guys, people who really got the skill and people who really can rap and are in it for the passion of hip hop are getting looked over because of the saturation. You know, it's just like, not always, but half the time, you know, people are just like, another rap.
Rap. Man, there was a period of life I didn't even tell people I rap when I met them. Like, they'll find out themselves, like, a rap.
Ain't that sad?
It's
like you should be proud of it.
Yeah. They'll be like, why didn't you tell me you? Like,
I'm going to be honest with you. So, like, when I met you, it was through Ryan. And then Ryan was producing tracks.
Yeah.
And he said, man, you got to check out this dude, Desmond. And I was like, yeah, okay, there's another dude.
Yeah,
and then I heard your stuff, and you just take that little step. And I was like, this dude's pretty good, man. And that's really what, because at that time, there's so many people, like, as in the engineering, I'm doing like, I don't know, 15, 20 songs a month.
And
they're all sounding the same.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's trying to be each other. And all of a sudden you came in, and I'm just giving you a compliment.
I appreciate that.
And you were like something totally different.
Yo, I remember doing
that. And that did make me want to go, okay, this dude, man, he's doing something.
I remember doing a show at Peabody's once. Remember Peabody's? Before they tore it down?
Yeah.
They was pimps too. Hey, go sell these tickets for us. Get your little ticket.
Go ahead.
You don't even know how long you got on stage till you get there that day. But, you know, I went up to the network several times. I remember one time I did this show up there, and, man, like, everybody sounded the same. I remember the security guard pulling me aside after my show. He was like, man, you're going to make it. You sound... Because I sounded different than everybody else. They sounded like... We in Cleveland. They sounded like they from the South. I'm like, man, you know what I mean? So it's important to... People recognize that stuff. You sound unique. You stand out more. You know? There's a lot of people that try to sound like Drake when he first came out. Like...
Still got it.
And I can't...
He got a lot of Drake.
Yeah.
A lot of Drakes out there.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, man, I got a little a gift bag for you.
Okay,
It's the right bag. So the actual bag is a gift, and there's some stuff inside of there for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Yep, you're welcome. You were talking about, I want you to pull the book out of there and show you, because you were talking about how each day you tell yourself about how to stay focused and stuff like that. So I gave you one of the Boss Code Path to Greatness daily goal books.
Nice, I appreciate
that. So in the morning, you just, and this can be small goals. It can be like, hey, remember to take out the trash. Remember this, remember that.
Yeah.
And then
I can't show my wife this.
Yeah.
She gotta take this bad boy over. Nah, definitely appreciate that.
And it's all about, it's not even about big goals, about self-correction, because if you self-correct every day, then you can achieve bigger goals fast. You know what I mean? Like little stuff like, I gotta stop spending money on food. You know what I mean? Okay. What can I do better? Pack a lunch today.
I just quit drinking pop.
Stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
definitely, man.
I got a shirt in there for you too. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Any last shout out you want to do before you get out of here? Tell us how to find you. Tell us all that good stuff.
Definitely wanted to tell everyone to go get the album. You know, it's been out not even a year yet, man. It's doing good, so I want more people to go stream that. Chronicles of the Prodigy, Part 1. You know, search JRG The Prodigy on any platform, YouTube, Spotify, any platform, any streaming platform, search me. YouTube, I'll have exclusive shit on there, you know, the Cypher, music video, so subscribe to that.
No doubt.
You know, if you want some exclusive stuff too. And follow my Instagram, JRG The Prodigy. Yeah. Everything's at JRG The Prodigy. So
follow this guy. You won't be disappointed.
I appreciate it, man. Shout out Cole for having me, Desmond.
Yeah, no doubt.
Nice meeting you, Doug, man. I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you.
And that's it, man. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully we'll work together.
Absolutely, we're gonna get some stuff going.
Definitely make something happen.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, y'all, we're signing off. Peace.
Y'all, I keep it brief. My grief is at an all-time high. I keep a peace. The streets raise me to be a beast. I need at least a key to get out of my debt. Wishing I could be richer and have no